Ozzy's comic multiverse.
I don't want to be here.
That's not true. Be nice.
I like
No.
that picture.
What picture?
The one in the.
Oh, I don't know what it was this time.
This
It's
the one with the
it's
big
sunglasses.
sunglasses.
Oh, if
Yeah.
you
Aviator
look
one.
closely at that photo, the sunglasses, you'll notice in the reflection, I'm actually flipping off the camera.
Yeah.
He is.
But so comic verse. Hi.
Hello.
So I'm gonna talk to you about some comic books, probably some shit that you've never heard of before, and one thing that you have, and if you're anything like me, you've probably been paying some attention to it. But we'll go on ahead and start with a fairly new book. I believe I talked about it a month ago with issue 1. I finally got issue 2. This is The Brother of All Men. It is a new book from Aftershock because I'm trying to branch out and read some new things. And The Brother of All Men, it's interesting. I don't know how well you remember last time I talked about it, but as a little bit of a recap, it's a story that takes place shortly after World War One. So this is just before the Great Depression. It's like 1928 Canada. It follows a detective who is after a missing girl, and and it's believed that she's gotten involved with a cult. And the book, it's got this it's a slow burn, just to put it like that. So if you're expecting like a lot of high octane energy, you're not gonna get that. Instead, like, it's more of the mystery. The fun in the book is in the journey itself. And so far, we've just made contact with our missing girl in this book, and of course, the mystery surrounding Brother 12. It's gonna be one of those that I would say, like, if you're interested in it, let me know and I'll work it into regular rotation. But I do have to tell you, it is a slow burn. But if you're looking for something that's not that, something that's a little bit more high octane and action packed, then Berserkr. Now, if this sounds familiar to some, yes, this is a book that's written by Keanu Reeves. Well, part Keanu Reeves, part Matt Kent. But this book has got so much blood, violence, and high octane. Reading this, I had a son via mitosis from all the testosterone that's in it. This thing, it is something else, man. Like, the first few panels, like, it immediately, like, throws you in to just blood and carnage. Like, you get people getting their, like, there's so many, like, head-crushing scenes. And this is the volume 1 that's available now, so it's like easily like.
Where'd you get that volume?
I actually got this one thanks to the Book Tavern. Thank you, David Hutchison. But yes, and Melanie Mistress, she made it happen.
I did.
But yeah, the book, it starts. You pretty much follow the name. What's his name? They call him B, but the other name is like Unate. Unate is the name they call it,
I haven't
which
read it
means
yet.
like a tool or weapon in the native language, and you come to find out that he's been around for 80,000 years, and he is currently doing wet work operations for a clandestine secret government organization, whatever. And the whole thing is that they're testing and trying to get to the bottom of it because they want to make more of him. He doesn't care. All he cares about is getting the ability to die. He's immortal and wants to be able to die. And the book, you go back to how he was able to remember being born. Like, that's how his memory works. And you learn that he was like raised by his father to be a weapon to murder and kill, and he's a berserker. When the only way he's able to feel anything is to be on a battlefield. So his entire existence for 80,000 years has been nothing but violence, and he gets shot up, stabbed up, arrows, everything. He recovers from it, so he's got a healing factor, something like Wolverine, but it's not. And that's pretty much what his similarity is in. And I found this book, like, I don't know why I hadn't decided to talk about this until now, because I think the book has been around for about a year and a half solid. But yeah, I'm going to start working Berserkr into the rotation. You can pick up volume 1 now, you know, if you don't want to go back and get the individual volumes. I'm pretty sure volume 2 is coming up, but I do have the books that have come out since then. So definitely going to work in some more Berserkr. You can definitely tell that this was written with the intention of it maybe becoming a film property for Keanu Reeves at some point, which I'd be curious to see. Hopefully, it'd be better than that. What was that? Damn, what was his name? It was the guy with the red chest. Vin Diesel played in the movie that came out like 2 seconds ago, and nobody paid attention to it. Bloodshot. That's what it was. Bloodshot.
He was in a movie like, oh, I didn't even
It was
know
a
that.
superhero movie with Vin Diesel called Bloodshot. Came out
Never
like
even heard of it.
maybe 2 years ago.
Red one.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a better film than that. And yeah, Berserker, I can't recommend it more. Like, I'm glowing after reading that book. Like, there was no like weird politics. It was just all action and story. And it's like, here I was thinking that this is going to be like a hollow affair. It's like, oh, like this is probably going to be just as empty as that J.J. Abrams Spider-Man book, which I'll talk about one day. I don't want to talk about it right now. But no, I was actually surprised with how much depth and care they did put into the story. Not only is there over-the-top action and violence, but there's like a bigger mystery here. It's like, okay, like this is more than what it appears. And I like being pleasantly surprised. So if you're looking for a really cool book, it's interesting to get into. Plus, you like Keanu Reeves. I like Keanu Reeves. Who doesn't? I mean, read the man's book. It's actually really solid. So that's Berserker. Check it out. And then brings me to my last bit of comic book conversations. Let's talk about She-Hulk. Episode 3 just aired, right? What'd you think of that, right? Interesting. Big old gamma twerking at that end credits scene. I'm actually fine with that. As far as She-Hulk goes, She-Hulk was written to bring in female readers. Particularly, I'm a huge fan of the John Byrne era of She-Hulk, when she had like the tight little spandex suit, the sneakers and everything, just the big wide grin, smile. Like that's my mind's eye She-Hulk. And for the most part, you know, the show pretty much captures that. Of course, they had to modernize a few things, but it struck me as odd that so many people lost their minds over the CGI She-Hulk twerking with Meg the Stallion. I'm like, really? That's what you got angry about? And I was like, you're getting angry at the wrong thing. The thing you should be getting angry at She-Hulk about is when she told Bruce that she has it harder than he does because she gets catcalled and is mansplained to. I was like, okay, so she completely invalidated the Incredible Hulk. All right, let's get into it. Like, we're talking about Bruce Banner, this man who had to deal with this monster inside of him for 15 years. The same man who watched his best friend die, who watched half the world get snapped away. She had it harder than him. That, if you're gonna be angry about something, be angry about that, because that bothered the hell out of me. But other than that, the rest of the show is really good. It's funny. It's definitely got that Ally McBeal vibe that I like. I'm hoping that they, add more to it. But I'm personally excited about She-Hulk. So her twerking doesn't bother me. Maybe watch, where we're trying to deflect.
Yeah.
and that does it for the comic verse.
Nice. I'm telling you, I'm not stopping.
You're tearing up stuff.
You're tearing up stuff.
You're tearing it up.
Yeah,
You guys are tearing up my heart
we are.
when I'm with you.
Is your heart in your legs?
And when we are apart, I feel it too.
I haven't seen it yet, but I did hear about that scene, and I can't wait to see it because I happen to like looking at stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Thank you very much. And I love Ally McBeal, except for the whole CGI baby thing at the end. But I've talked about that, and I don't want to bring it up anymore.
But never watched that show.
I mean, to be fair, even though she is CGI, like they made She-Hulk fucking attractive.
Yeah.
Like, she's beautiful.
I ain't gonna lie.
Big, green, and beautiful. Look.
Yes, she could wreck me. Death by snoo snoo.
Yeah, that's a death by snoo snoo all day.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, we are absolutely trucking along, and we got those 2 segments out of the way. And I got a game plan for you guys. And Ozzy was supposed to be surprised by it. He actually saw earlier on that a couple snippets, but I don't want to tell you about it just yet.
It's gonna be 50 questions. Watch.
It's not gonna be 50. I promise.
There's only 2 people playing.
So here's the deal. Let's do like 5 minutes, and then we'll come on back and we'll do this game.